The Shasta County Women's Refuge was started in 1979 by a woman determined to stop domestic abuse in its tracks. Her name was Gretchen Lee Peterson, known by many as the founding matriarch of the Women's Refuge, and known as Special Grandma by many local children.
Gretchen was well known for her tenacity in fighting against domestic abuse. She drove an old checkered cab and would often pick up women fleeing abuse. She was known to drive over curbs and through ditches to flee an abuser. Anything to ensure a clean getaway and keep the location of the safe house confidential.
In its first year alone, the Shasta Women's Refuge provided crisis intervention services to more than 800 families. And in 1982, it built its very first shelter, the Peterson House, named in honor of founder Gretchen Peterson.
During its first 3.5 years, over 3,000 women and children stayed in the safe houses in the emergency shelter. In 1987, a new dorm wing was added to the emergency shelter, increasing capacity to 24 beds.
Over the past 3 decades, the Shasta Women's Refuge has been able to survive only with the generous support of the community. Events like the annual Crab Feed, Walk a Mile in Her Shoes, and Dancing with the Stars, Shasta County style, serve as a fundraising opportunity, which many community members have supported.
The Shasta Women's Refuge has served more than 46,000 men, women, and children since 1979 and will continue the mission to end domestic and sexual abuse in our community. Although we have served so many in need, it is the individual success stories that really make the difference.
Hi, my name is Anna Vietti, and I am a survivor of domestic violence and sexual assault. While the abuse was going on, while I was going through the divorce, I suffered from PTSD, big time. I didn't feel normal. I felt like a total outcast, and I felt like everything that I had just gone through, that I was the only person in the world who had gone through that. I didn't go to the Women's Refuge right away because of the stigma that is on shelters in general. It took me a long, long time, and once I finally got there, I looked at the lady and said, gosh, I should have come a long time ago. It helped me so much, so much. I met other women who have been through the same thing, and they were normal. I was feeling anything but normal, and they were all normal to me. So now I am a business owner. I own a photo booth business. I am also the president of Voices Against Family Violence through the Shasta Women's Refuge and Family Justice Center. It is an advocacy group of women who go out and we share our stories to create awareness of domestic violence and sexual assault. I have 4 beautiful boys. I love them to death, and they are my rock. They are what got me through everything, and our relationship is so much tighter because of that.
With Anna's enduring spirit and the help of the Women's Refuge, her future has been forever changed and is looking brighter all the time. But there is still more work to be done.
Shasta Women's Refuge and Family Justice Center is a great liaison between law enforcement and the community serving victims of violence. Every day we see the news with reports of violence nationwide. Shasta County is not immune from that violence. Recently we saw a triple homicide in which a wife and her 2 young children had been murdered by her husband and their father. We need all the help that we can get, and that's why it's important for the community to report crimes of violence and domestic violence to local law enforcement. As sheriff, and for the men and women of the Shasta County Sheriff's Office, we truly appreciate everything that the Women's Refuge and Family Justice Center does for victims of violent crime, domestic violence, and sexual assault.
The Family Justice Center began in 2010 and works to ensure the safety, healing, and self-sufficiency of victims of domestic violence and other forms of abuse. Together, the Shasta Family Justice Center and its partners deliver co-located services, assuring that victims have access to the help they need during the most traumatic time in their lives. Both the Shasta Women's Refuge and Family Justice Center share the same goals and have similar missions. So tonight, the Shasta Women's Refuge and Shasta Family Justice Center are proud to announce the formation of a new organization.
Two organizations with the same mission, joined as one. A new community strength to help end domestic and sexual abuse. A new hope for men, women, and children looking for a new beginning. Multiple services co-located under the same roof. A place to heal. A place to start anew. Please continue to support us with your overwhelming generosity. And join us in celebrating this new organization. Formerly the Shasta Women's Refuge and the Family Justice Center, now known as One Safe Place.